What up, fam? Today we're going to talk about how to use jump rope for better boxing. In this video today, I want to talk to you about how to use jump rope to become a better boxer. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about how an amateur or a pro, you can be using jump rope to not only improve your jump rope skills, but also to improve your boxing skills as well. So we're going to get into all that today. And first, let me give you a little bit of perspective about like who I am and what my experience is and how I think I can help you. So my name is Brandon Epstein from the Jump Rope Dudes. And over the past year or so, I've really gotten into the boxing. I'm definitely still a beginner, but I've had a really cool opportunity since I moved to Santa Monica, California to start training at the Wild Card West Gym. Now, if you're familiar with the boxing world at all, you've probably heard of the famous gym Wild Card. It's in Hollywood. It was opened up by Freddie Roach, a famous trainer who trained guys like Manny Pacquiao. And so Wild Card West is the sister gym of Wild Card. And so there's a lot of professional boxers in there that are training. And so I ask them questions all the time. I'm like, how do you use jump rope to train for boxing? What specifically are you doing your routine? And so I'm going to talk to you about the moves that they're using, how they're using jump rope for becoming a better boxer, and really just give you an overview about how to incorporate it into your training. Alright, the first thing I want to talk about in regards to jumping rope for better boxing is the warm-up. Every good boxer knows that the best way to warm up your body is through jump rope exercise. And so your warm-up routine should probably look like this usually. It's three-minute rounds of jump rope, and you're doing jump rope freestyle. So really the point of this is to get blood moving throughout your body and to help you start to get into that flow, starting to get in your zone. So when you get into doing other boxing training, you're already warm, you're feeling good, and you're ready to get locked in. I'm going to go through some of the staple moves that you can be using in your warm-up routine. So those three-minute rounds, I'm going to give you some exercises that you can use while you're freestyling, and I'm also going to give you some resources to make sure you can learn how to do these moves. So the first thing first, of course, the boxer skip. You can see me doing the boxer skip here in this footage, and really what I'm doing is alternating back and forth, putting my weight on one foot and the other, and what I'm doing is a little double tap on each toe. And so when I come up on one of my toes, I'm really putting more of my weight on the other side, and when I come up on the opposite toe, I'm again putting more weight on the opposite foot now. So what you're doing with this boxer skip move is you're just alternating weight back and forth with double taps on each toe, back and forth, finding your rhythm and locking into your zone. So if you want a more in-depth tutorial on how to do the boxer skip, I'll link up in the corner of the screen right now our boxer skip tutorial. Next thing I want to show you here is a boxer jab step. And so this is something that we haven't actually talked about on this channel if you've been following us for a while. And so this move right here is something that I've seen some of the pros do. And what you're doing really is just practicing exploding off your back foot and just staying explosive. So you're coming off your back foot, you're pushing off your back toe, and you're jabbing forward, and then you're taking a little hop back. You're jabbing forward, you're taking a little hop back. And so this is very similar to how you might throw a jab. So when you're warming up, you can start to get your body in the rhythm of throwing a jab by doing the same similar footwork as you're doing the jump rope. Next two moves I'm going to talk about are the jump rope side swipe and the jump rope crisscross. Now we've done tutorials on both of these moves in the past, so again, I'll put up the tutorials in the corner of the screen right now, but let's start with side swipe. I want to show you this move quickly. What you're doing is you are opening up your hands on one side and then crossing them over and opening them up on the other side. So as your left hand opens up, your right hand crosses over, and as your right hand opens up, your left hand crosses over your body. And so when you're doing this move, you want to open up on your right side and then skip over the rope in the middle and then open up the rope on the left side. And side swipe is something that feels super awkward when you're first getting started, and so it's something you'll just have to practice. Get yourself in rhythm doing boxer skip or another move you feel comfortable with, and then try to work in side swipe slowly. You're not going to get it the first day, you probably won't get it in the first week, but if you stick with it and you constantly try to get more comfortable with jumping rope in general, you're going to get the side swipe down. Next move we're going to talk about is the crisscross, and so we have a tutorial again on this one because it's a move that everyone wants to do, and it's a move that you've seen a lot of boxers probably do in the past. As we cross one arm over the other, we imagine putting our guns in the holsters, and then we're using the momentum of the rope to bring it back over our head, and then we're crossing it over and we're doing it again. So when first getting started with this, you can either do just regular bounce, crisscross, or you can do crisscross, run in place, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And again, this is another move that you're not going to be able to do the first time you try it. It's just going to be repetition, 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 and eventually you're going to get it. So if you want a more in-depth tutorial, again, we have those linked up for you. Check them out. second thing we're going to talk about in regards to how to use jump rope for better boxing is conditioning. So as you may know, if you're interested in getting better at boxing, boxing is one of the most physically tiring exercises that you can do. It doesn't matter if you're doing 3, 5, or 12 rounds, getting through each one of those rounds is extremely difficult if you don't have incredible conditioning. So that is why I have introduced some of the heavy ropes to the guys at the gym, specifically my boy, Chris Van Heerden, who's been using the heavy rope to build his conditioning and get better at jumping rope with the regular rope. And so it looks a little bit like this. You're gonna be building your endurance through using heavy rope. Specifically here, you can see me using the 1 pound rope. And so by using this 1 pound rope, it's just more difficult. It's more resistance on the body versus a regular jump rope. And so when you train with this, it builds your conditioning and endurance. And then when you go back to using a regular rope, you're much more fast, you're much more agile. It makes it a lot easier to use it. And also just makes you feel more explosive. It's almost like running with a weighted vest, and then you take off the weighted vest, of course you're gonna run faster. So don't expect to be able to use the 1/2 pound or the 1 pound rope and go for like 30, 40 minutes straight. This is a very demanding exercise. So for example, the guy I shouted out before, Chris Van Heerden, this guy can go for about 40 minutes with the 1 pound rope. I can go for about 24 minutes, and we both have pretty decent conditioning. Obviously I jump rope just about every day. Chris is a professional boxer. So if you can only jump rope with the heavy rope for about 10 seconds or so, don't feel bad. Next time you try to pick it up, go for 15 seconds and build and build and build. And that's how you really get your endurance up. So when you get in a 3-minute round and you're actually fighting, you're not gasping for air after a minute. You feel good. You've built up your endurance, you've built your cardio, and you are poised in the ring instead of out of breath. So here's how I recommend improving your conditioning with these kind of heavy ropes. What you can do is once a week, just challenge yourself, see how far you can go. So like I said, my record is 24 minutes. My buddy Chris, he's a pro boxer. He can go for about 40 minutes. And challenge yourself. See what you can do today or whenever you pick up a heavy rope, and then see what you can do the next week, and just track it in a spreadsheet or in your notes page on your phone and see how you can build your endurance. In addition, in between that time of testing yourself of going as long as you can, maybe a few times a week, incorporate the heavy rope into your warm-up or incorporate it into your burnout conditioning at the end of your workout. So when you finish your workout completely, throw an extra 3 rounds of 3 minutes in there with the heavy rope, like the 1/2 pound or 1 pound, and there you're gonna be building your conditioning even more. So when you pick it up the next time, you're gonna feel more fit and more ready to perform at peak levels. So if you want the heavy ropes we're talking about or the regular jump rope we're talking about in this video, we linked it up in the description below. It's available for you whenever you want it. If you have one yourself, awesome, but these are the ones that we use in the video. So if you want the ones that we're using, check them out. So the third reason for using jump rope for better boxing is to improve your agility and flow. Boxing is all about being able to turn off your conscious mind and really drop into a more unconscious state, right? When you are receiving a punch and you're in a counter, you're not thinking to yourself, okay, I just got hit and now I need to hit back. It's something that's ingrained into your unconscious through all the training that you're doing. So why you're able to access this unconscious state has a lot to do with your ability to get into a flow state. And a lot of research around flow state or being in your zone has told us that when you get into flow once, it's easier to get into flow again. So if you can use jump rope to get into flow, to get into your zone, so where you're really living in that present moment and everything else seems like it disappears, you know, you're locked in, then when you get into your boxing training, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to drop into your zone there as well. There's a lot of research on this if you wanna look into it, but if you can get into flow with jump rope, it's going to be easier to get into flow when you get in the boxing ring. So in addition to getting into flow and doing your jump rope freestyle and using it in that manner, we also want you to use jump rope to improve your agility. So specifically working on being explosive, doing moves like double unders, crisscross, side swipes, the boxer skip, really getting in your zone and working on the footwork and making sure that you are achieving peak levels for your athleticism. That's only going to happen through practice. So work on all types of footwork, challenge yourself with double unders, do all the moves, and get yourself in a freestyle zone. And the more you do this, the more your agility is going to improve and the more explosive you're going to feel in the boxing ring. And again, like I mentioned in point number 2, if you use the heavy ropes and then you go back to the agility rope, which is the 1/4 pound rope that you see me using here, it's going to be a lot easier for you to move that rope faster and freestyle and really look like a jump rope ninja. One of the top reasons I recommend using heavy ropes is for this benefit of being able to go back to your regular jump rope and being way more agile and feeling like you're a lot more quick because you've already been, you know, the analogy of training with a weighted vest versus taking it off. You're going to be a lot more agile, explosive, and athletic. And finally, the only way to really really improve your boxing through jump rope is going all out with your effort. You have to be very intentional. You have to be present. You have to be locking yourself into that zone and being present through the entire activity. So when you're doing this freestyle, enjoy the process, get present, and really think about how you want to improve with your jump rope, and then think about how you want to use a jump rope to improve in boxing as well. Everything you do should be focused and intentional. So take these 3 strategies, use them to become a better boxer. Hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. This is what I've learned so far from some really awesome pros, so hopefully this has provided some value for you as well. If you want to go follow some of the guys that I'm talking about, linked down in the description below. Our buddy Chris, he's the next up for getting his championship fight, and also Wildcard West, the gym that I train at in Santa Monica, California. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you would like to receive more videos like this one, and also check out the videos on the screen to learn some of those tricks we talked about today. Do the thing.